if you hear screaming in the background, that's because we're just living this life of COVID-19 where our children are at home. So I apologize. Today we are speaking with Allison Buytenhuys. She's a vice president at Ames Gough in McLean, Virginia. Allison, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so normally we're on here, we're talking to doctors and physical therapists, but we thought it would be so much fun to talk with someone that's actually using some of the stuff that we're putting out there during this quarantine. Spine health, of course, is our priority. And I know that you've been using some of the tips and tricks with your staff that we've been putting out to help people maintain their spine health during this time. I mean, we're at home, we're working in unfamiliar environments, we're probably sitting in ways that we're not used to. So yeah, we just want to talk with you a little bit about how you are using those things with your team. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. We have been using a lot of the tips and tricks. We have weekly calls. Our company was very lucky. We're 44 people big, and we are spread out through the East Coast in 2 different locations. And with that being said, everyone has gone remote and teleworked. And for me, being in the role of administrative, I wear the HR hat quite often. I wanted to be sure our team was physically and mentally as fit as they could be, and that Ames Gough was offering the correct resources to allow them to achieve that. And with that, I immediately turned to the National Spine Health Foundation's website, and I thought, I wonder what they can offer to me. And I've seen a lot of great things, a lot of great stretches. We have weekly calls, which is where I started the dialogue here. And each weekly call, I've presented a few more tips and tricks that I have found.
And so when your team went from, with everyone in the office to being at home, was it like the whole team transitioned home?
Our whole team transitioned home. That is correct. We were lucky enough that we had afforded and were flexible enough that our staff was able to work from home 1 time a week is the way we had it set up. So we were confident that our team at least had the internet resources and at least a reasonable enough setup to work from home 1 day a week. However, we've observed that transitioning into 5 full days, and as you know, life is going on around us, and there are still others in the home, whether it's another adult with you or the children, that we found that our staff has been moving locations. They haven't been sitting at their desk where they had originally pledged they would be working when they were at home. So I've just heard a lot of aches and some pains, and I thought, how can I offer them a resource to improve that or make it better?
Yeah, I mean, corporate wellness and wellness in general has become more popular in the workplace in the past decade, I would say. What makes you specifically interested in making sure that you're promoting wellness and giving people options?
Well, the short of it is that I really believe if you are physically as fit as you can be, that your mental health is going to be a lot happier as well. And if both of those are in alignment as best as they can be, then your work output is going to be as positive as it can be as well. Our family has a lot of spine history in it, and so I'm always conscious of that. And just mental health, there's so much awareness of that. That again, I just like to be able to provide that resource, and similar to the foundation's mission, allow that resource to be available easily and quickly for our team.
And so you obviously personally, I'm sure, are employing a lot of these things. What are some of the things that you're doing personally that are helping you to feel like you're protecting your spine?
Yes, absolutely. Excuse me. So I would say that I've kept routine. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was important to keep routine. And for me, it's also been important that I have gotten up. Every hour is what's been suggested. I'll say I'm probably every couple of hours, but to get up as often as possible and stretch. And the simple stretches such as toe touches, reaching to the sky, doing a leg bend or 2 are several of the ones that I would implement throughout my day. And again, the routine of getting up and doing that often, walks have been very popular for me as well. So I'm keeping mobile and change of scenery, which then allows that change of scenery, just doing simple walks. So I've tried to get up every couple of hours, and the walks with routine have been very, very helpful for me.
Yeah, it's amazing how we forget how interconnected mental health is with physical health. I mean, and it's just all, unless you're doing sort of all the pieces of the puzzle, and none of it works 100% right. So I think that's such a good point. Have you had any feedback from any of your employees about some of the things that they've been using, or just showing their appreciation that you care about this kind of thing?
Yeah, I have. I get the nice little email replies back after our weekly meetings asking, "Oh, could you provide the little graphics of the stretching techniques that you've suggested?" So I've had several of those. I've had a few people comment such as, "Oh gosh, I'm so glad you're reminding me to do this." It's almost as if they needed someone to say, "Go do it." They needed to empower themselves by having a reminder. So I get those nice little emails afterwards that I hope are making a difference, and I remind them to use them with their families. Again, every the spine and health is for everyone, whether you're older or younger. So I keep reminding them, use them with your families as well.
Yeah, I mean, prevention definitely starts in childhood, I think. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's so important that people realize that their employers care about more than sort of, just getting everything done at the end of the day for work. And that just contributes to such a better spirit in the workplace. What would you say to maybe a workplace or an employer or team manager that hasn't been prioritizing this? How would you encourage someone to get started and making their employees part of doing these things?
I think I would suggest taking a creative route. Perhaps you can make a game of it. Perhaps you can encourage them with a small reward at the end just to get the motivation going. I know a lot of companies have intranets. Post a few of these tips in an intranet. Maybe remind them to go and pick up a tip of the week. Maybe you take one of those 5 tips, 8 tips that are posted up on the website, and you put them in the intranet every 2 days. The more I think we can encourage through fun and different ways, especially now when we're all looking for creative outlets to do any sort of an activity, will encourage our employees to participate. I think they like to follow by example. And so too, if you can encourage, and if managers can encourage that they are doing it as well, I think that would also provide a positive reason for the employees to do it. The I Spy bingo boards have been really popular lately, and so we're getting ready to release one of those at our work as well. One of the squares is contact the bar instructor that's part of our team. Ask for a stretch. Did you stretch every couple of hours? There's squares they can cross off. So being creative to release the information to the team is, I think, going to be helpful.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Well, and of course, at the Spine Health Foundation, we've got some of these tips and tricks,
Yeah.
some of these images, like on our Instagram account, we're putting out, like 6 yoga poses for spine health and things like that. So everybody keep an eye on that. Feel free to sign up for our email list, get the same tips and tricks that Allison's getting and implementing with her team. We would love to have you. So head over to spinehealth.org to sign up for those. Otherwise, Allison, thank you for sharing this with us today. I think it's so great to hear from people that are in the real world employing things that are helping our bodies. So thank you so much.
Thank you.